My price prediction target for XRP was wrong, and I'm going to give you the 3 main drivers for why it was wrong. Today, I'm going to go through the 3 biggest reasons, in my opinion, why the XRP target that I gave you over 12 months ago is too low. We're going to go through each one of them individually, and by the end, you're going to probably agree with me that we are not bullish enough. So if you are a member of the XRP army or a general crypto user, make sure to like and subscribe to Crypto Warehouse. And let's go and have a look at the 3 reasons why we need to be more bullish on XRP. Reason number 1 why we are not bullish enough on XRP is this picture right here. Donald Trump is the president of America, and he has taken Brad Garlinghouse into the closed circle of the American administration. Having a seat at the table with Donald Trump is the number 1 driver behind the XRP price and the value of XRP. He will be involved in stablecoin regulation. He will be involved in the strategic crypto reserve. He will be involved in advising President Trump on how to guide the crypto industry in America. Donald Trump is interested in creating the crypto capital of the world. He is talking about the jobs, he is talking about the tax receipts, he's talking about having every major player in crypto in America. Very similar to how they have operated with the internet, with the likes of Meta, with the likes of Alphabet, and so on and so forth. They want to do the same thing with crypto. And who is he asking about this? Brad Garlinghouse. So this, for me, is the number 1 reason why XRP is going to be an absolute massive success over the next 4 years in America and around the world. And the second driver for this is, of course, Ripple USD, the stable coin offered by Ripple. This is the second reason why, because XRP as a token on its own is not going to fulfill every function that is needed. The stable coin gives them access to a massive market where the likes of Circle and Tether are making billions of dollars a year in profit. Donald Trump likes stable coins. Why? Because they buy US treasuries and they help prop up the American economy. If we have stable coins with Ripple, we will also have CBDCs through Ripple. We will have the money flowing from American banks through Ripple. And this is the second driver behind the value of XRP and Ripple. And that is the banking institutions will use XRP, they will use the stablecoin, and many countries will start to use the Ripple CBDCs. This is the second reason. They are involved in the regulation, as I've just said, of stablecoins with the American administration, and they have their own stablecoin. They will have a seat at the table with Circle and with Tether. And this cannot be underestimated. Yes, we have many other things that we're going to talk about at the end, but this puts Ripple in the driving seat for driving forward with the banking regulations, the stablecoin regulations, and having them involved at every step in the process. Now, this process, we are led to believe, will take a minimum of 2 months to get in front of Donald Trump. But once it is signed, it is a green light for Ripple to move ahead and start to dominate the banking sector. And the third and final reason why we are not bullish enough on XRP is the ETF. The XRP ETF is coming this year. The process is very simple. The applications have gone in and the futures have gone live. March 2025 is the month where the Solana and XRP futures ETFs have gone live, as well as the futures have gone live through CME. So why is this so bullish for XRP? Because it gives institutions the ability to buy spot XRP through the likes of BlackRock or ARK Invest or Vanguard or whoever they want to buy it through. It puts them in the same position as Bitcoin and Ethereum. They will probably be third or fourth in the queue behind Solana. This is the third and final reason why I think that we're going to see massive XRP gains, because institutions are going to buy them. Now, a lot of people have said that the Ethereum ETF has not been such a success compared to Bitcoin, and they are not true. If you look at the numbers, if you compare the market cap of Ethereum to that of Bitcoin, the Ethereum ETF has been a success. And that is also why the XRP ETF will be a success as well. Because why don't you want to buy into a token that is associated with the banking industry in America? Of course you do. It has, as I've said a minute ago, stable coins. It has CBDCs. It has a lot going for it. Its own platform will have smart contracts. Its own platform will have DeFi. Even NFTs will run on the XRP ledger. So let's not forget what XRP can do. It has potential, but now it has the ability to deliver on that potential. And the ETF is going to allow people to buy in. If you look at America today, which coins are talked about the most? Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP. They are the coins that people have eyes on. When retail comes back in the next 6 to 9 months, which coins are they going to buy? They're going to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and probably Solana. So XRP is going to get that bullish momentum from having its own ETF. Now, before we get onto the XRP chart, this was my prediction that I made a very long time ago. You will see that I have my $5 target for the 2025 bull run on here. And I don't think that's a bad shout. I think we're going to go and look at my 3 predictions at the end of the video, but I still don't think that is a bad shout. But now it has gone from the blow-off top target to what I believe to be the worst case scenario target. If everything goes south, what's the worst performance for XRP? And that would be $5. But as I said, we'll get onto that at the end of the video. Now, it's very unfair to look at the XRP chart. Why? Because the SEC suppressed the price for so long. 4 to 5 years worth of struggle for XRP. And one thing we should not do is we should not go by without thanking Brad and Ripple for fighting not just their corner, but fighting the corner of crypto. We've seen the likes of Coinbase come out and apologize for taking XRP off their exchange when they were asked to do so by the SEC. That was a bad move by Coinbase, but at no point did Brad or XRP or Ripple waver from what they were trying to do. Now, the price has been suppressed. We can see it in the chart. We've had 2 pumps since. One was when the second part of the case was closed and the trading of XRP was not considered a security. And now we've had this huge run up back to where we should have been potentially at this stage of the bull run. So this isn't the full potential of XRP. This is where we've got to get back to where we should have been all along. And that's the key here. This chart to me says that we are due a massive leg up in the next couple of months. And when I mean a massive move up, I am talking about potentially a 100 to a 150% move up. Why? Because XRP is playing catch up. If you look at what happened with Solana after the FTX crash, it came all the way down to $8 to $12. Then we saw it run back up to $300. That was somewhat of a 25x move. Now, I'm not expecting that from XRP, certainly not, because its market cap is way too high. But I think we should be sitting at over $5 before the summer begins. And if that's the case, then the target that I'm going to give you at the end of this video is probably going to be wrong. Now, for those of you that don't hold any XRP, what are you doing? Holding XRP should be part and parcel of any diversified portfolio. If I was looking at this now, I would be looking at a 10% allocation of your portfolio into XRP. Certainly in the past, maybe 2 years ago, my allocation was 7.5%. I would now make that 10%, certainly, with the likes of Solana, with the likes of Ethereum, with the likes of Bitcoin. So you should increase your allocation to maybe about 10%, because I think there are at least 2 more legs up. As I've said, before the summer, I expect another leg up. Just before the ETF goes live, another leg up. But remember, those ETFs for Bitcoin and Ethereum have suppressed the price. So maybe XRP does top out at $10, $9, and maybe it retraces, or maybe it retraces into the final all-time high and breaks above those targets. But you should be allocating into XRP, even though it's at $2.45, $2.50, it's still got a ways to go. Now, one thing I said in my video that I made with my $5 target, I said that I think you will be looking at no higher than a $500 billion market cap for XRP. That is a 3x from here. That puts us at $7.50. Now, that for a lot of XRP army holders, that is such a bearish outlook on XRP, and I get that. But also, I have to err on the side of caution. There's a lot of people that watch these videos who are new to crypto. I'm certainly not going to give them a $589 target or a $10,000 target for XRP. You should take the gains as you can. You should take the profits along the way. And everything I'm saying in this video could be out of date by the time Trump speaks today at the Bitcoin conference. So the bullish chart is what you see. The price has been suppressed. Don't forget that. This is not the all-time high of XRP where we are today. Certainly not. We are simply recovering from the suppression of the SEC. Now then, let's get on with my conclusion and give you my 3 price targets for XRP. Now, before we get on to my conclusion, I want to make one thing very, very clear. I have chosen the 3 biggest drivers of XRP, not an exhaustive list. We can talk about the wallet, we can talk about smart contracts, we can talk about the interoperability between Solana and Cardano. I have specifically focused on what I believe to be the 3 biggest drivers for XRP. Now, they are more of a global, a macro driver rather than a technological advancement. And that is because we've seen the change in the American government, as I've just mentioned. We have Brad sitting at the same table as Donald Trump. We have World Liberty Financial, who they will partner with in the near future. We have Charles talking about partnering up with XRP. We have the banking institutions talking about partnering up with XRP. So my previous target of $5 was erring on the side of caution, and I still believe that $5 is a solid worst case scenario for this bull run. I can see XRP going to $7 to $8 as my next prediction. And then my blow off top prediction for this bull run only is $10. $10 is my all-time high in 2025 for XRP. Now, before everybody in chat starts shouting at me, calling for a $589 XRP, remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint for XRP with the American government and Donald Trump. What I am talking about is the November 2025 all-time high. Going into 2026, 27 and 28, expect the IPO from Ripple. Expect them to become the banking partner of traditional banks in Web3. Expect them to cement themselves as the #1 banking blockchain in the world. So when I talk about these targets, I'm talking about the next 7 to 8 months. Moving forward, going into the next bull run, you will certainly see a $20, $25 XRP. You will certainly probably see a $50 XRP in the not too distant future. But for this bull run, my predictions are as follows. $5 worst case scenario, $7 for an average of what I would expect us to get to, and $10 for an absolute blow off top. The XRP ETF is going to drag the price down because Grayscale are going to sell, as I've said. But if we get to $10, where are we going to go from there? Price discovery can do a lot. So I'm mega bullish on XRP. I've held the bag of XRP. It's in our $15,000 to $1 million portfolio. We are a big believer of XRP on this channel, and I'm glad I went back and reviewed my previous video because it gives me some idea that I was right, but also wrong because of what's happened since that video. So thank you for watching to the end. If you are a member of the XRP Army and you've never heard of Crypto Warehouse before, we stream every day. Make sure to give us a follow. And if you're an OG, thank you for being here. Your support means the world to us. As always, you guys have been great. I've been Mike. See you soon. Goodbye.